don't know if you can understand me. It is December 27th, 2018. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. I had a very Merry Christmas. These were part of my Christmas present from my husband. Some heated gloves. Winter time, I've got lots of extra gear. So we're going to try these babies out for the first time on my 2009 1203cc Lightning. This thing kicks ass. Don't let the size, in terms of, you know, the fact that it's compact, don't let that fool you, folks. This is a 1203cc Thunderstorm engine made by Eric Buell and Harley Davidson before he stopped making them. This is my absolute favorite bike to ride out of the three that are here that we have. Sorry, I have a laptop on my back as well, and I'm just letting this cold start warm up here, which I think we're about ready to go. I'm heading off to work. Let's check out these gloves, baby. Listen to these pipes. These are aftermarket pipes I put on, but let me tell you, the original pipes were killer too. Listen. See, this is a beast, man. I love it. It's a beauty though too. A real quick review, and I do hope you guys can see okay. I hope you can hear okay. I do apologize if either one of those things are compromised in any way. But yeah, so this is laser focused riding, and I want to welcome you to my channel. This is pretty new. I just want to make sure my garage door's shut. I have about 20 pounds on my back. Roads are not very good, so in terms of, you know, it's going to be hard to lean a lot, as I've mentioned before, during winter riding, due to a lot of gravel, dirt, right here, for example. You really need to know the roads that you're riding on in order to be safe in the wintertime. Listen to those pipes. Woohoo! Oh man, oh man, oh man. There's nothing like getting on a bike first thing in the morning and just, you know, if you have to go to work 2 days after Christmas, you might as well do it on a motorcycle. I live in Pennsylvania, so it's probably about 27, 25 degrees, which, as you know, on a motorcycle, I'm still waiting for my gloves to heat up here. I'm curious. I feel them getting warmer. Woo! So real quick, I don't have a long ride to work, and I do hope you can, I'm trying to sit more upright for you, because, okay, starting with this bike, there's some gravel here, sorry. First of all, I'm a female, and I'm about 5'7", so this bike I can flat foot no problem. It's wonderful. Its ergonomics are fantastic. It's designed for you to either sit up or to lean forward. Now, it does have a slightly aggressive, just a slight aggressive stance to it, in terms of, you know, where you can lean forward like this, and then you take off. Woo! Just jumped over that bump. So you can tuck under this very tiny windscreen shield protection here. In terms of naked bikes, first of all, even though they don't make them anymore, if you go online, you can still find some for sale. You know, I don't know that you're gonna really, you'll probably pay a little bit more because they don't make them anymore. But I have seen some good deals. So what you're dealing with here is a V-twin 1203cc. Look at that. Look at that power. The power is just incredible on this bike. And the brakes are fantastic. Everything about it is fantastic. I love it. You don't have a lot of fancy. This was before the real fancy computer stuff. So you got, you know, in terms of your display, you don't have a TFT display. I like it. You can really see everything that's going on here. You know, basically you have your tachometer and you have your speed, and then, you know, when you start to run out of gas, it's going to give you the fuel sign, and then it'll go on tripometer. That's one thing I wish it did have, was a fuel gauge, because I never know. But right now, this tank, I'm going on 73.7 miles, so probably around 120 miles is how far it can go. Look at all this gravel. Gotta love the roads in Pennsylvania. I chuckle. Tricky turn here. Normally I would be able to carve turns with this bike. This bike loves to lean, and it is very, very agile. If I can get, once I get out on the highway, I can kind of show you how agile it is in terms of, you know, using my hips to turn it. But right now, almost every one of these turns has gravel, so not really interested in falling on my butt and ruining my bike in the middle of winter, or ever for that matter. Another danger is watching out for deer on the road, so please be careful, folks. Jared Campese and teens who I followed, I don't know them, but I follow them. They moved from this area to Santa Barbara. I'm about 45 minutes away from where they live, so I'm a little cold, but I'm not bad, because I got some deep gear going on here. My hands feel wonderful. It's just my eyes right now that are cold. I should have put sunglasses on, but then they steam up. Okay, so Eric Buell. Let me talk about this bike real quickly. Sorry, that was a terrible shift. Sorry about that, Buell. Eric Buell now is EBR Racing, which I think is owned actually by somebody else now. But back in the day, he and Harley Davidson came together and said they wanted to create a really, really good sport bike, like a track bike. And this is definitely a track bike day type bike. Oh no, dude, don't go in front. If you go in front of me, you better be going fast. Okay, not fast, but this is where I can talk to you a little bit, because these guys kind of poke. They run out in front of me and then they just sit there. So they came together. So this is a joint. Back then, this was a joint venture, because Eric Buell was one of the engineers for Harley, and you know, he really wanted to create something different. So this is what he created, and he wanted to make the Lightning. The Lightning was always a taller bike, but he wanted to make it have better center of gravity. So he decided to not put the gas in the typical gas tank spot, where you see the gas cap. When you pour that in there, it's going to go into the swing arms and all through the bike. That way the center of gravity is lower. Another thing Eric Buell always did was put his pipes underneath the bike, which I think is a fabulous idea. You can see the actual lines of the bike better. You know, yeah, everybody likes to see cool pipes. Here we go. This isn't so bad. See? That's just my hips. That's how agile this bike is, man. And let me tell you what, the road is freezing. So these tires are even slightly more sluggish than usual, but they're still able to do that. I mean, this bike just has incredible ergonomics. So back to Eric Buell. The center of gravity, that's the big part of the ergonomics on this bike. It's a lot lighter. Number one, it's a lot lighter. And that's one of the reasons it can just take off, like, you know, like, woo! And that's like a quarter throttle. I can't really go very fast because I got somebody in front of me. But you know, in these back roads and in the twisties, you can carve a canyon with this bike for sure. I've never been in a canyon. I'd love to go out to California someday and just, you know, take one of my bikes, my Ducati or this. Yeah, so he really succeeded ergonomically, and as far as the engine goes, it is just lightning fast, just like its name. It is an XB12S, so this is the lower center of gravity version, so you're going to have, your actual suspension is going to be a little bit lower, and your feet, you just, you know, you can flat foot it. In terms of the fuel efficiency, I think the fuel efficiency is pretty good. Not like when I had a little blast when I first started out. That was like 70 miles to the gallon. This is probably more like 35 miles to the gallon, unless I'm being as they call a hooligan on the bike. And yes, girls can still be hooligans, by the way. You're not seeing me do any serious lanes or anything because, well, number one, the roads are not meant for that right now, and number two, I have a car in front of me. But I love to lean, and that's the one thing this bike taught me. Because I had other bikes, and they weren't as forgiving, and they weren't as agile and fun with the speed at the same time. And the sound, you know. Listen to that. Woo! Now we're leaning a little bit. But listen to that sound. I mean, that's just, you can't beat that. What I did was, I had Harley-Davidson, classic Harley-Davidson. I can put a link for them if you're in the Pennsylvania area. I had them do up my bike a little bit, you know, starting with some basics. Just putting some tape wrap around the pipes, which makes the heat stay in, which makes it ride better, ride warmer, ride faster. And then I had them pick out pipes of their own, you know. They said, what kind of pipes do you want? I'm like, I don't know, you know, racing pipes, something. So, what you hear that? It sounds like a Harley, right? It really does. Now, when it gets up there, in terms of speed, it tends to sound more like a race bike, but they did a wonderful job picking out pipes for this. Were they cheap? No, they were not cheap. But they were so worth it. Oh my goodness. You know, it doesn't go yin-yang like a Japanese bike, you know. Nothing wrong with that. I love the yin-yang sound on a Japanese bike, but this isn't a Japanese bike. This is American made. Just looking to see if there's anybody coming. Nope. There we go. Hang on, folks. Got a yellow light. Get around these potholes. So it sounds like an American bike, you know. It sounds like it's part of the Harley family. Was that what I was expecting when I ordered the pipes? No, actually it wasn't. But you know, looking back on it, I'm so glad I told them to just do what they wanted to do. They're going to be doing some more stuff to this bike. My helmet is so steamed up. Sorry about that. I had to open my helmet, and I'm on a hill. That's one thing that Floridians don't have to worry about is hills. You got to keep your one foot on the brake while doing all that. So, yeah, I mean, what else can I say? I mean, this thing rides like a dream. It has never let me sit. It has, I want to say, probably somewhere between 6,000 and 8,000 miles on it. I don't ride it that often, obviously because of the weather. Love you, Nan and Jackie, Nan Ethel, and Uncle Sam. That's the cemetery that I pass every day that has some of my family in it. Amen. For those of you who also know me personally, you know I'm a Christian, and yeah, I say a lot of prayers, so why are these people stopping? I'm going to be coming up on my work here soon, and I just want to say, you know, I need to check the brakes on this because I don't know what they are, but they are fantastic. Most of the bikes that I ride have Brembo brakes, and I'm wondering if these are Brembos, although I didn't see that when I was looking at them on the blocks. But whatever they are, they're fantastic. They stop on a dime. I do not have ABS on this. And as I said, as you can see, the actual layout here is just very simple, and I love it. You know, I do love the BMW S1000R and the different riding modes and things like that, and all that stuff. But I gotta say, I'm also old school, so I really love like I'm a techie too. Don't get me wrong. But I just love the layout of this. You know how fast you're going. I don't need, a lot of people have been complaining that bikes don't have, you know, what gear they're in, a gear indicator. I've never used one, and I've never needed it. You just use your ears, baby. Just use your ears. And if you need to count. But, you know, for me, it's one down, then neutral, and then the other 5 are up. 6 gears. Some bikes, a lot of Harleys only have 5 gears, I think. This is a tough road here, so I gotta be careful. But anyway, I am at work. I hope you enjoyed your ride with me. Please click like and thumbs up if you are on my YouTube channel. I will be doing more thorough reviews, but again, I got some nice places to park here. Not a lot of people here the 2 days after Christmas, as you can tell. Oh, and 2 very warm thumbs up to my husband for these incredibly warm gloves. They worked. I love them, baby. So did my pants. My pants worked. Everything worked. So, yeah. So, this is my Buell Lighting XB12S. If you have any questions about it, you know, is it for a newbie rider? No. Not right away, just because of the power it has, you know. When you have this kind of power, you need to know how to tame yourself, because you're not going to tame the bike. Trust me, the bike's going to want to go. But could a newbie rider ride it? If they had a little bit of experience, yeah, but you're talking about a bike that loves to lean. You know, you do a lot of counter steering as opposed to a cruiser standard bike, which is a little bit more easy. Well, not a little bit more. It is easier to ride when you're first starting out. Personally, my husband's Harley, he has a beautiful 883 low classic Harley. I've leaned that as far over as you possibly can, because I'm a sport girl. My next, I'm going to try to review the V-Rod Muscle, which will be kind of like the bike that took the place of the Eric Buell bikes, because, you know, after Eric Buell left Harley, they didn't really have like a real fast sporty bike. In the V-Rod, again, you have your V-twin there. You have, I believe it's liquid cooled, and this, of course, is not a chain, so there's no maintenance whatsoever on it. See, it's just belt driven. Awesome, I love it. My Ducati is chain driven, so there's a lot of maintenance. We'll get into the Ducati another time, but this bike has not been washed in I don't know how long, and it's just still gorgeous. I still didn't fix this, which I should have. You should always close this. There we go, for my charger. Anyway, this bag is weighing a ton. I love you guys. Please give me a thumbs up, or, you know, let me know what you want me to review. I have a couple of dealers that are willing to let me ride. I am going to go up to Calps to see if I can ride an XD12S. I can't even speak. That is the cruiser / sport Ducati. It is incredible. And, you know, there's no way I'd ever be able to add another bike into my garage, and I love these, and they're not for sale, so least I can do is just try to get some more reviews out there for you. So the V-Rod Muscle and the Ducati, those two were like neck and neck there for a while for being cruiser sports, but the V-Rod is no longer being manufactured. And the Diavel, you have to have some cashola for that. Brand new XD12S is like 26 grand. So, yeah. Okay, I gotta go into work. Love you guys. Peace. Thumbs up. Be laser focused when you're riding. Look around. To the left, to the middle, to the right. Watch everybody else. Watch the idiots, especially those turning in front of you. Just be laser focused on your bike. Peace out, guys.